All right. Hello, hello, hello. Let me make sure we're with our Instagram fam here. Here we go. All right. They're joining us. All right, cool. So we're live on Instagram too. I'm trying to do better. Let me slide over a little bit. Trying to do better about also streaming on Instagram. We're going to do better. I actually interviewed someone today that's an Instagram specialist, and I interviewed her for my podcast. And I was like, I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. Sometimes that's all we can do as entrepreneurs is just say, hey, I'm going to do better. So, hey, shout out to my Instagram fam here. And hello to our LinkedIn, our Facebook, and if you're watching the replays, our YouTube family as well. We're going to get you all this content. So thank you all as we have people come into the room. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday, guys. I'm excited. This is our first Monday in April. It's also our first Monday of the second quarter of 2023. So yay, we made it. It wasn't easy, but we made it. So yay to that. Alrighty. So we do have a little bit of a different framework for April. I kind of mentioned it last week. And that's because we're constantly getting new people in to our family. And so I think while some of this may be a little repetitive for some of you who watch on a consistent basis, bear with me to the beginning. If you're watching the replays and you're part of the iRock fam, just fast forward a little bit. Okay, fair enough. I feel like it's fair because we have to get some basics out the way, because I realize some of you watch the podcast maybe the first or second time and you don't even know who I am. You don't know what I do. And so my goal is to make all of these Monday Night Lives and all of our lives from now on a little bit more structured, so that if you have more questions, if you want more content, if you want to know more about what we do, you don't have to go and search and find it. You can get pretty much what you need from just this talk right now. All right. But again, if you're coming in, say hello to me. I'm looking at the comments. Hi to everyone who is watching. All right. And sorry, Instagram fam, I have not figured out how to get you guys the slides, but I promise I make them simple enough that you're not going to miss it if you're not seeing the live. But today's topic is unlocking your profit potential, how to price your coaching services for maximum earnings. I get asked all the time about this, and so I thought this would be a great topic to kind of kick off the second quarter of the year. Last quarter, we focused a lot more on the basics, the fundamentals, getting things in place. Now let's talk about making some money. All right, but for those of you who do not know me, hello, I'm Corey Fonville Foster. I'm a transformational speaker. I'm a certified business coach. I'm a trainer, and I'm the CEO of iRock Marketable Business Solutions. We're based here in Virginia, USA, but we support entrepreneurs just like yourselves from coast to coast and up into Canada. A little bit more about what we do is we help small business owners monetize their passion. Right? We don't help you just make a quick buck. We don't help you sell somebody else's product. We help you monetize your passion through gaining clarity on what it is you want to sell, right? What products and services you offer. We help you and engage with your particular target audience, those clients that you really, really, really want to work with. And then we also help you confidently, right? Because confidence is one of our words, if you didn't know. We help you confidently implement your marketing and sales strategies consistently to do what? Live life on your own terms. A lot of you know what to do, but you're not doing it. And it's because you're not implementing. And that's why you're not seeing the results you want. And so we're going to help you do just that. All right, a little bit about us if you're not familiar. I think it's important to talk about our brand story and where we came from and what our goals are, because some of you may not understand like what are we doing and why do we do things the way we do. People ask me all the time, why don't you talk about ads? Well, that's not for my target audience. While I'm not against running ads, it just isn't always feasible for the people I serve. I had a client, well, not a client, well, she's a client, but she's also a good friend, who reached out to me this week, and literally the message was like, girl, no. That's what the message was. It was, girl, no, because she had asked me for my price list, and I don't just send out my price list to everybody, but I do for people I collaborate with. So I sent her my price list, so we could work on this collaboration project. And she saw that I was only charging $500 for websites, and literally the message back was like, "Girl, no." And she was like, "You should raise your prices." Now, I agree. I should charge more for websites. I definitely agree. But I explained to her my brand story. I got into business as someone who had just been newly diagnosed, well, newly disabled, I should say. I had a diagnosis for a while, but I was newly considered disabled. I had not planned to be disabled or without my typical 9 to 5. So I had not saved to start a business. I literally was at a place where I needed to do something. I felt I didn't want my husband to have to, provide completely by himself. And I also wanted to feel like I was still, capable of doing something. And so I ended up starting a business that way. And then, of course, if you've been with us for a while, and I'll change it up every time I do this talk, so it's not super repetitive. But I then went and started a business. I saw there was a gap in the market, and then I started this business. That's the most condensed way I can say it. But like I said, the point is that I didn't come into business in a very traditional sense. I didn't go to school for what I do now. I did not go to a business school. And when I started my business, I hadn't even taken any like business classes or anything like that. And so, for those of you who are trying to monetize your passion and you don't have grants and investors and a whole bunch of savings or access to capital, my goal is to make sure that you guys still have the opportunity to start a business, to run a business, to scale a business while keeping your budget in mind. Because, like I told my friend, if I had somebody come to me and say, "Hey, I can build your website for $1,000," I would have just never had a website. Because sometimes, yes, people that you reach out to and tell them your prices, they're going to say I can't because they don't really want to, not because they can't. But sometimes you literally can't. I never make my clients choose between paying their rent and paying me. I don't have my clients pick between feeding their kids and buying one of my products. And so, yes, especially on our marketing side, we try to be as affordable, quote unquote, as we possibly can to support you guys. And our goal for this year is we want to support 100 small businesses reach their 2023 business goals while not breaking the bank. And I didn't decide what your goals were because I really feel that when you are a new business owner, I think it's not fair for us to put that goal on you, because when I first started my business, my goal was to make a profit. Any profit would do. I was like, can I please end the year in the black? And I did. And then the second year, we had some bigger goals, because doing business is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And so, whatever your business goals are, right, we want to support you in that. And that is our goal, to do that for 100 small businesses in 2023. And we do that two ways. We do that, most of you know us, through coaching. So we do that through Done With You coaching services. And that is literally, we call it the white glove service, the hand holding service. Unlike other coaches who go off and tell you to write an email marketing campaign or to go make a website, we literally get on calls with you and we work through those together. A lot of you are scared of the tech. A lot of you don't even know where to start, right? You don't know what you don't know. And we help you confidently be able to navigate those waters, and we do it with you. We also have our Done For You marketing, and that's things like your logo, your website. We actually write those email campaigns on the marketing side. We help you with lead generation. We help you with social media management and things of that nature. The list goes on and on. We also do like video editing. Check out iRock Marketable Business Solutions to see more of just the marketing products and things that we offer. But like I said, our goal this year is 100 small businesses, and we are already well on the way to accomplishing that this year. All right, so this is something new. I'm so excited to announce this. My coach, shout out to Ashley Kirkwood. All right, Speak Your Way to Cash fam. Some of you guys are in the group. She always tells us to like have a have a name for our people, and I've been really contemplating, and I've been talking it over with a few of my mentors and things like that. And we decided from now on, if you do business with us, you guys are going to be rock stars, right? Because our tagline at iRock is "I rock, you rock, we all rock." And that's because I really believe in my heart of hearts that we all can do this. Like, yes, we are all special, but you don't have to be special to have, a successful business. You just got to know what you want and go for it. And so that's why I always say I rock, because I know I'm amazing, right? You rock. I definitely know you're amazing. So we all can rock, and we all can live life on our own terms and live it the way we want to do it. But we got some different levels to our rock stars. All right. I think that's fair. Like if you go to a Beyonce concert, like everybody ain't the same. So you guys aren't the same. So we got our regular rock stars. They still rocking with us. These are people who engage with us via social media, blogs, podcasts, basically our free content. And we have loads of it. If you follow us on any platform, we post pretty much every single day in some way, shape, or form. We also have a blog on our website. We also, matter of fact, we just launched our second podcast today. I'll make sure I share that link with you guys before we get off. But I've also been featured on many podcasts, so I always post that content for you guys to view. And there's the list goes on and on. We're always doing some free something. All right, then we got our Rockstar Plus, right? You're just not happening across our content and looking at it here or there. You guys are registering and signing up for our free events. So you're coming to our master classes, you're coming to our challenges, you're coming to our pop-up networking Q&A calls. You guys are a Rockstar Plus group. I like you. You guys are in there. We also have our A-list stars. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be no B. I don't want to be no C. So A-list stars, you guys make an investment in our company. So you guys are doing coming to paid events, or you're paying for your VIP access. You're also purchasing our courses and different things. If we have any paid webinars, you guys would be our A-list stars. And some of you who are listening are probably some A-list stars. All right. We also have our all-stars. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I love a good team. So we got our all-stars that they're in our group coaching programs. And then they're also our marketing clients. Because if you've ever worked with me in the marketing space, you know, I'm always connecting you to other people that can help support you. Because even our marketing clients, if they're on a contract with us, they actually get strategy calls too. So they get a little bit of coaching. So you guys are our all-stars. And then drum roll. Shout outs to our top tier. These are our elite stars. These are our one-on-one clients. These are my buddies. These are my favorite people to work with, because I get to work with you in a very intimate setting, and we really get to customize packages just for you to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And we do it fast. These are these 90-day, 6-month contract clients, and we make it happen in 6 months or less. We are hitting goals. I just signed up a new elite star today. We onboarded her, and I'm so excited to see what she does, because she's working with military women who are in business, and she is going to support them in their businesses and being able to kind of transition out of that military mindset into that business mindset. So I'm super excited to see what she does. And like I said, we have quite a few more, and I need to start talking more about you guys. But yeah, our elite stars, you guys are amazing. You definitely rock. So if you're ever wondering, like, where am I? Are you a rock star? Are you a rock star plus? Are you an A-list? Are you an all-star or an elite? That's what you need to figure out. I want all of you guys to be elite one day. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're talking about tonight. Are you guys excited? I feel like this is a better momentum. Yeah, I feel more hype. I think we know where we at. We know where we're going. All right, so we can learn now. So what you're going to learn today, we're going to talk about unlocking your profit potential, and we're going to talk about pricing. Point blank and period. Pricing, because you guys always ask me, make sure you buy a computer or you can type, because if I ask you to tell me your stuff and give you some feedback, you got to be ready, because we're going to get in and get out, and my goal is about maybe 15, 20 more minutes. We're going to be out of here. Okay, so today we're going to learn how to price your coaching services to increase your profits while staying competitive in your market. A lot of you really struggle with pricing. Most of you are underpricing. Let's just be honest. Just out of the fear of like imposter syndrome and things of that nature. And we're going to stop that. We're going to stop that, because you guys are experts. I don't work with people who aren't. So I know you're experts. If you're listening to me, if you're engaging on our platforms, you're an expert. So we're going to start pricing accordingly. All righty. So the first step in this process is understanding the value of your product or service. And that is really what is called your value proposition. I say preposition. I say preposition every time. Proposition. There we go. Value proposition. All right. So you really gotta, first of all, like I said, we gotta change our mindset and stop thinking that people don't want to pay us, or they won't pay us, or we're not worth a certain amount. Okay, because that's just not true. We have to get into this idea of, and there it goes. Like, oh, I forgot my little face at the bottom here. You guys are experts. While you may be new to coaching, while you may be new to consulting on your own, what I often find by people who work with me is they're not new to this. They're definitely true to this. And I say it all the time. And that's because you guys usually have years of experience in your industry in some way, shape, or form. some way, shape, or form. You don't have to consider yourself new because you've never done this particular job in this way. It doesn't make sense. Because, like I said, most of you have been doing this for a very long time and probably just ain't been paid. Most of the time when I talk to coaches, they're like, yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. I just never charged anybody, or I charge people nickels and dimes, but now I want to do this and this. And then they'll go out and the next second be like, oh yeah, I'm new. I'm a new coach doing this. Like, no, you're not new. You're not new. You've been doing this for years. So I want you to start valuing yourself and saying, hey, I bring a lot to the table. Some of you maybe are, because I have a few people that have degrees and they're doing something similar in their field, but they're doing it as a coach. A lot of therapists, I feel, are leaving the traditional therapy lane and becoming life coaches. And I think it's freaking amazing because insurance makes therapy so hard to get. Some of you are teachers who are leaving being teachers and then going into being consultants of teachers. Again, you may not have been a consultant, but you've been a teacher and you know what you need and you can help the next teacher coming up. Some of you, like me, I'm a business coach and I've never gone to school for business. I've never gone to school for marketing. I've never gone to school for sales, but I've learned a lot. And then I went and got certified as a business coach, which isn't required, but I felt, hey, I'm going to do it. And then I've also invested in my education through books, through courses, through training programs, through hiring other people to support me, hiring teams of people around me. And so, yes, just like I feel I am very qualified to do what I do, you should feel as qualified to do what you do as well. So that's the first step, right? We got to just change that mindset. All right, our second step is going to be analyzing your market and your competition. Now, this step's a little tricky in my book, only because a lot of you think that means looking at what somebody's doing and then duplicating it, thinking they're doing a great job. That's not what I mean here. When I'm talking about analyzing your market and your competition, I want you to see, peep game of what people around you are doing. So, and hold on, let me wave to Instagram. Hey, I see you over here in Instagram world. Yeah, I want you. Okay, I see her, the mastermind, elite cash lead in the house. Hey. I see some mastermind family. Hey, I love that you guys come support me. Sorry, I got excited. Anyway, analyzing your marketing competition. What I want you guys to do is not go and look at the next person and copy what they're doing because you think they're doing a good job. What I want you to do is really pay attention to what is standard in your industry. This happens a lot with consultants, especially new ones. I think because you guys have never been on the paying end, you don't know how to price. And so then you have, again, that imposter syndrome of I'm new. And I've seen people price as low as like, hey, I'm going to go to this school and give them all of me for like $2,000. And I'm like clutching my invisible pearls, like, please don't do that. And that's because you probably haven't done a lot of research. You don't always have to have all the answers right away, but you can definitely go find it. You'd be surprised how many people will give you free information. We have a lot of consultants in this group right now. So I'm going to use this for an example. I'm going to see how many people are actually going to do this. If you are a new consultant, I want you to go to the member section, especially if you're in the Facebook community. Go to the member section and go and look and see what people have next to their name. And some of them are going to have consultant next to their name. And I want you to DM them and say, hey, we're in the same group. I'm a new consultant. I would love to pick your brain. Can we have a quick coffee chat virtually? I don't want to take a lot of your time, maybe 10, 15 minutes, because I just want to know a little bit more about how you do consulting and how you've been faring in this economy or something like that. Keep it simple, keep it brief, and just have that conversation and ask them like, hey, I'm new and I've been pricing this way. Like, do you think that's crazy? And they'll probably say, heck yeah. But you can get some feedback. I love the people I've been able to connect with because I ask them questions about their pricing. I ask them stuff about different systems they're using. I ask them about how they're working with their clients. And you'd be surprised. People are not, especially in our Facebook community, we're not trying to battle each other. Your clients are your clients. Their clients are their clients. Who is for them will be for them. Who is for you will be for you. So there's no reason to fight about it. There's no need to gatekeep because we can all get there at the end, right? We all rock. So I really want you to be okay with reaching out to people in the community. Also, you can send offer market research to other people that maybe you don't know. I know my team, we're actually working through this right now. We're sending out a little email that says, hey, like we're trying to get some market research. We're going to ask some questions. We're not going to sell them anything. And we're asking them to get on a call. But I realize a lot of people still may not want to get on a call because it's time consuming. So I said in the end of the email, hey, if you don't have time for a call. I totally understand. Like, everybody's busy these days. Would you mind filling out this quick little survey? And in the survey, I have, like, I think it's like 4, maybe 5 quick questions. They can type something and be good and be done. And I'm sure most people will end up doing it that way because, again, who wants to give up their time? But guess what? It don't matter to me because I still get the answers. Now, it's cool. It's extra bonus if they get on the call because I may have a follow-up question or want clarity, but at least I have some information to get me started as I build something new that I've never done before. So please don't be afraid to talk to your competitors or even your customers and see what they need, what they want, so that you can be better prepared as you develop your business. Also, I want you guys to stop. I hate this. I'm on Instagram. I love you guys, but Instagram sometimes is very funny. And it's very phony sometimes. A lot of times, especially for coaches, you will go and see other coaches and they'll have these huge number of followers. Um, and they may even be engaged. They're getting likes, they're getting hearts, but you have no clue how much they're making in sales. Let's just be honest. I'm often surprised when I talk to people that I've been kind of seeing in the distance and I find out they're not making what I thought they was making. I'm just gonna be real with you. That happens all the time. Stop thinking or stop copying people and their systems if you don't know that they work, right? So what I do, this is a smarter way to go about it because you can't talk to everybody. I look for patterns in the market. What are the people that are doing well? What do they all have in common? Right? Maybe when I go and look at their like kind of sales funnel, because I will go and follow somebody I really, thinking they doing some cool stuff in my industry. And I'll see, oh, they have a lead magnet. I'll go through the lead magnet. It's free. I'll watch their webinar. Sure, we'll take notes and everything. Like, okay, that's cool. That makes sense. And I'll start seeing patterns amongst my peers. Okay, this is how they're leading people to their offers. These are the types of lead magnets they're doing. This is how they're getting people to book their calls. I've even done a few calls because I'm not afraid to buy somebody's product. I'm just not. So I'll do a call. See, oh, this is how they did that call. Oh, they almost got me. They almost got me in a sale. Oh, this is how they're doing follow-ups. And when you start seeing those patterns, then you can take the information from those patterns and then develop your own system. This is a great tool. Now, I don't want you to copy because copy is blah. Like, who wants to see the same old, same old? I want you to be you, but I do want you to start identifying some patterns and then using those to help you figure out, especially when it comes to your pricing, what makes sense in your industry. Because you don't want to price too low because people are going to think you don't know what you're doing, or they're going to be like, this too good to be true, or they don't know what they're doing. So obviously they're not going to be worth coming. Because if you're at $200, but everybody else's quote is $1,000, they're gonna be like, this probably is a mess. This is some bull. They don't know what they're doing. All right. So you act like to be kind of in the middle of the range, not too high, not too low. It just depends, and I'll steadily go up in price as I develop an expertise and fix any issues that the product or service may have. So that's something to think about there as well when it comes to pricing. So let's kind of dig a little deeper. Once you do a little bit of analyzing your competitors and kind of seeing what the market is doing, I want you to start calculating some costs, because this will also help you not not give things away anymore. Because when you do business, there are costs involved. There's no way to do it completely free. I've never said it and I never will, because I've definitely spent thousands upon thousands of dollars in my business. When I started, I definitely had to spend very wisely because I didn't have a lot of play money. Just being honest, I still don't have play money, but I now have a little bit more wiggle room. But back in the day, yeah, we were pinching pennies, and because of that, this was a great tool. Now, this is just one model to look at, and it's called cost plus pricing. And we'll talk more about models in a second. But when I work with my clients, this is the model I typically use for them to get started, because I find that this is the most helpful and most simplistic way to not shoot yourself in the foot and give away your content. So the first thing we look at is the cost to make the product or service. Typically, there is a cost involved, right? And it could be, if it's a course, the course platform costs. There's also, for some course platforms, there's a price per sale. Then if they're using their card, there's a price that goes to the people who run the card to get the money. All that is a cost. There may be a cost to edit your videos. You may have somebody else put the course into the platform. Maybe you have somebody design your thumbnails. The list can go on and on. Some of these things you may do yourself, but at the end of the day, you're probably going to have some type of cost. It's very hard to make a completely free course from, between you and the people that you got to work with. So whatever the cost is, if it's zero, then hey, it's zero. Good for you. Then you have to also look at the time it takes to make the product, right? How many man hours are you doing to make this thing happen from you? All right. And this could be even in research. Again, no experience left behind. If it took you 10 years to make this, to learn this information, then that goes into my cost. I'm just going to be real with you. And then if it takes me time to implement, so say for instance, somebody's getting coaching from me and I know it's going to be a 90-day program that's 12 hours plus some, then I also put that in there too. And that's usually under my time to deliver more than my time to make, but you get the idea. So cost to make the product, the time to make it, like how much went into making the product, and then time to deliver. And like I said, for me, if it's a coaching program, 90 days, 1 hour every week, that's 12 hours. And then I, of course, have to tackle on research time. I have to tackle on implementation. I tackle on emailing and communication as well. And I might not sit down and write every little penny out, and but I do have an idea, and that totals, all those three things total your expenses and the overall cost of your product or service. Because some of you are like, I don't know how much it costs to make. Well, sit down and write some numbers down and see where you come up with here for your expenses. Now you're then going to think, okay, how much do I think I want to charge, right? Because you can play with this number. I want you in the revenue section to try a couple of numbers and say, okay, I think I want to charge this much, or I think I want to charge that much. And then I want you to subtract the cost it took to make the product. That is going to be your profit margin. Now, for me, I'm just going to tell you a rule of thumb for me. And I actually do this on probably 90% of my products, maybe even 95 to be honest, because I don't like fractions. I can't tell you exactly how much, but 90 to 95% of my products, I do a 50% profit margin or better. 50% or better. I probably could do a lot better if my brand wasn't centered around affordability, but 50% or better profit margin, because guys, you got to pay to keep the lights on. And eventually, as you want to scale, you're going to have to outsource. You're going to have a team. They got to be paid somehow. So this profit is not money in your pocket. This profit is the money that you can then put back into the business and do whatever. Or if you are going to pay yourself, your team, whoever. So this profit number can't be but so low. So a good rule of thumb I have for me and for my clients is at least 50% profit margins. And like I said, you can play with that revenue number and see what looks good for you. And I did encourage you after 90 days to up that price, whatever you come up with, just up it in 90 days, because you're probably still were pricing too low. So that's just one way. So let's talk about some of these different models. And I had to pull my notes up because I am not a pricing specialist. I definitely do it well with my clients and we work through it. But I want you to be able to go and search more once you finish talking with me. And the cool thing is we actually have a masterclass all about pricing for profit coming up later this week. And she is like the queen of pricing. And so we'll talk more about how you guys can register for that as well, because it's a free class. But I'm gonna at least introduce you to some of the different pricing models that you may use as you develop your prices for your products and services. Because I'll tell you, I haven't found anybody yet who only uses one model. And you're probably, if you already have products and services out, you probably have already used some models. You just didn't know what they were called. So we just talked about cost plus. There's also a value-based pricing system. And that one's a little different because it's based on the value your target audience or your audience, the consumer, puts on the product. And I feel like this one is one that it only works if you got a really good following or you are a household name. And I'll give you an example. Tony Robbins. If you say his name, most people know it. And most of the people will say, okay, he's made a whole bunch of money. He's helped a whole bunch of other people make a whole bunch of money. So if he puts out a product, I'm pretty sure it's going to help me make some money. Right. And so the value already, I'm thinking like, this is legit. It's probably going to be good. And I'm going to spend the money if, I have the money and what his offer says sounds pretty decent to me. Right. Lucky for him, most of us are not Tony Robbins. And so this value-based pricing sometimes kind of doesn't work for us because people don't always value what we do at the level we do. And I talked to a copywriter earlier today, and we talked about that because people don't realize how much work and time and expertise goes into it. They often don't understand why it costs so much. And so she wouldn't do a value base because then people will say, well, you just writing some words. I could write an email. I could write my website wording. I could write an ad, but they don't understand the return on investment that she can give them versus themselves. And so they don't value the product. But if you are someone who has kind of built up a really good writer audience, then you probably could do a little bit of value-based pricing, but I wouldn't use that as my, end all be all pricing tool. Now we have the hourly pricing model, and I'm gonna mention this because this is something for my coaches and consultants we want to stay away from for the most part. I have one product in my whole company. No, I lie, I have two-ish, and I say that for a reason, that go into this model, and this is the hourly pricing model, right? You're getting paid for your time, literally hour by hour. I don't like it for the most part, especially for coaches and consultants, because people then want you to justify what you do for every hour. I ain't got time for all of that because in my hour, you're getting years of expertise and knowledge that doesn't make sense to charge hours. I'm not flipping fries. Like that's not what's happening. Now there are two products that I have that I use hourly on, and I'll tell you what they are because they make sense to use hourly. One of them is moderation. So like when somebody has a live event, we go and we work the chat for them and things like that, just to give them tech support. We charge them per hour. Now, people usually upgrade and they'll have a package where we support them leading up to the event and sometimes after the event. We just kind of throw that in there. Very seldom. I don't even usually sell that to people who I'm not already doing business with, just to be honest, because it's not really worth it. But it's a nice bonus to offer the clients that we do have, and it's very low cost. So they go ahead and they pay per hour. They only usually use, I think the most I've ever done, I don't know, maybe 20 hours in a week, something like that. Not even, probably like 10 in a week. So again, just an add-on bonus. And then the second hourly product that I have is called Power Hours. And it's literally a way for people who are interested in coaching with me to get a taste of what it might look like. They get 1 hour. They can only do it a max of once a month. And I probably, in all honesty, would only do 3 of those for any one person ever. But the rule is no more than 1 a month. But if they came back 3 months in a row, we would really have to have a discussion about why they're not in a marketing package, because we're not going to make enough momentum. In the 1 hour power hour, they literally just solve one problem and we don't build on it the next time. Versus if you're in a coaching program, we actually have a running dialogue, action items, and we build on the momentum that we've already started. And so those are the only 2 products in all of my products that we charge per hour on. And I really think it just makes sense for you as a coach or consultant to value yourself a little bit more than to have a whole bunch of hourly breakdowns. Now, I have seen in a proposal where somebody will respond to an RFP that's like somebody saying like what they're looking for a consultant, and they will ask for an hourly breakdown, but but we got a little way around that. We still put it, but we take our total costs and then we put how many hours the package would be worth, and then we divide it to give them an hourly price. And we have some little tweaks to that. You got to be a client to get all the tea, but we make it work. But that's the only other time that I've even done it with any of my clients have any type of hourly. Because like I said, I ain't got time to justify what I do every hour, because you're not getting just an hour of my information and an hour of my insight. You're really getting tons and tons more of knowledge. All right, so we also have fixed price model. And we're not gonna go through all these models, guys. If you want to screenshot this slide or watch it back and Google it, go for it, or just come to the event this week. But fixed price modeling, also known as project-based modeling, is basically people are paying for a product at a fixed price. So your course is $800, it's $800. They get whatever's in the course. It's a fixed price. It's a flat fee. That is what it is. I actually pay a lot of my freelancers through this model where it's project based. They literally get a project. It's worth this amount of money. If they do it fast, yay for them. If they do it slow, they better hit my deadline. Other than that, it doesn't matter. And what it does is it allows them to work within reason, their own speed. But I still get the same deliverables and they know how much they're going to make. And it's a great way if you're a freelancer, you're doing any kind of freelance work, to do project based, because oftentimes if you're fast, you'll make more money doing project based than hourly anyway, because they're going to pay you what they're going to pay you, which is really nice. All right, let's see. We're going to talk about retainer real quick, because like I said, we're not going to go through all of these. Okay, I was looking at Instagram for a second, but we're not going to go through all these. But retainers are also great for consultants. Like I know a few of you do like advocacy for students. I know there's a few IEP consultants in the house, and every time I talk to somebody who does IEPs for students, basically they work with families who have children with special needs within the school system. That's kind of a very broad range, but you get what I mean. So one of the things that I noticed that happens with this type of consultant who works doing things with parents is they will have a package to walk them through the whole IEP process. They will have a package to actually show up to the IEP meetings, and then nothing. And I love a retainer because things come up, emergencies come up, people want to check in, people have questions, and a retainer is great because people can pay you a smaller monthly fee and they can use it or lose it with the time that they have. So if they need you in January, then cool. They can set up their time. You allow a certain amount of time per month they get or a certain amount of support, and then they can use you. And then guess what? If they don't, then they don't have to worry about it. But they had the peace of mind that they could have used it if they wanted to. Just like if you retain a lawyer, it's like, hey, you won't stand by just in case. And it's cool because you don't have to go search, because sometimes you don't have the time. If you've ever had a kid with the IEP, by the way, sometimes they be like, hey, we got a meeting, we need to meet urgently, something happened. You got to hop. Well, you should. There's a few rules around that. But for the most part, y'all going to have a meeting. Y'all going to have it soon. And you may not have time to find a whole new person to come in. Or if you had an IEP person you worked with before, they may be out of town, unavailable, whatever. But if they're your advocate, they can reach out to the school and have a quick conversation, maybe reschedule or remedy something on your behalf. So I like retainers. And if it makes sense for your program, I think it's great. You guys will get to meet Susie later this month as a masterclass. She's doing a masterclass with us, and we actually talked about that for her business because she does business planning. And now she has a retainer program now, because a lot of people would get their business plan and then she would have to reach out to them a year later. So now she's actually going to reach out quarterly, but then she's also going to let people retain her. So if you've ever been a new business owner, like most of you are, what happens is you guys have this plan that you just love and you know exactly what products and services you're going to sell. And then halfway through the year, you change your mind, or a quarter way through the year, or heck, the next day. So then they have the ability to reach back out to her to get their plan adjusted with action items so that they can move forward and keep the momentum going in their business. So I think those are the only ones I really wanted to talk about. I did want to talk about bulk pricing. So coaches, or if you have like products that can go together, something I do on the marketing side of my business actually more than anything is a bulk pricing. And the way it works is if somebody purchases more than one of my products, I consider it a bundle, and they get a discount on those products. So if you buy one thing, there's a flat fee, right? You get what you get. But if they buy, so say for instance, a lot of people come in, they say, hey, I need a logo, I need a website, and I want an email campaign. Well, I will take the price of those 3 items, and then I'll throw a little discount in there for them buying it in bulk. They're buying more than one thing, which is really great because you want to retain clients. You don't want to spend all your time attracting new ones or selling things one at a time. I want to get a couple things in to help them move faster, but also, of course, it gives me more money as a business owner, which is really nice. But like I said, if you want to take a screenshot of the different pricing models, there are probably even more than this, guys. But these are the ones I thought pertain to us mostly. And so definitely check it out. Equity pricing, the freemium, bulk. We got performance-based, hourly, cost plus, retainer, market, fixed price, tiered, value-based, project-based. And like I said, there are definitely more. All right, so let's talk about kind of what we talked about to make sure that you guys get the whole plan together. You're going to understand the value of your product or service, right? You are an expert. Stop undercharging people, right? They're not even paying, they're investing in you and your business. They're investing in the solution that you provide. Okay. We're going to analyze our market and our competition, but we're not going to copy them. We're going to see patterns in the market, and we're going to use those to help us as we prepare to sell to our target audience. All right, 3, we're going to calculate our costs. We're going to make sure that we've got a good profit margin, at least 50% or better. We're going to make sure we understand how much it costs for us to actually create a product, to deliver a product. And then we are also going to decide on which pricing models work best for which products or services that we offer, so that we have a clear understanding of why we're pricing the way we're pricing. Fair enough? So what's your next steps after this? Because I want to give you some next steps, because some of you are like, okay, check. Cool. I want you to communicate your value to potential clients. Stop telling people what's included in your packages and let them know what problem you solve. I'm gonna say that again. Stop telling people what's included in your packages and start telling them the thing that you solve. Because a lot of you, and I've heard these calls and I've taught people and asked them questions, and they'll be like, "This includes this, this, and this," because you're excited about all the bells and whistles. I just want to know, does it work? How long is it gonna take me? How much is it gonna cost me? Does it work? I want you to be comfortable with adjusting your prices over time. Some of you, after doing all of the things we just talked about, are still going to price yourself lower than you should be. Be open to reevaluating and upping your prices. I typically look casually, probably every 90 days. We do a hard look where the prices will go up every single year. I have to make myself raise the prices every year, but I definitely glance at things and adjust if I need to, probably about every 90 days. That's why I always tell people, if you get a quote from me, it's usually good for about 30 days because we change things from time to time. All right, you also are going to build a pricing strategy that scales with your business. So as your business grows, as you change and have better products and services, you have more robust products and services. I also want you to make sure your pricing strategy changes because, like I said, those business models work for certain things in certain scenarios. Be open to moving them around because as you grow, they're going to be a lot more complex things that you offer with lots more things involved in them. I know for me, I could never have imagined a group program or even one-on-one coaching when I first started, because that's not even what we did. And so I wouldn't even have had an idea of how to price it then. But now as the business has grown, we've been able to incorporate so many more pieces. I have so much more content to share that now, of course, the pricing models have changed and of course the prices have changed as well. So just be open to those things. All right. So this is the call to action. This is what I want you to do. If you are still after this conversation struggling to figure out what do you want to sell, right? You maybe you know what you want to sell, but you don't even know who's going to. If you have any confusion and lack clarity around your offers, I want you to go ahead and book a free call with me today. I want you to book a call because I want you to stop stressing over this and I want us to be able to just give you the support now. And if you are, because you may be watching this on your phone or you don't want to go grab your phone because it's in another room, just put me in the chat and I'd be happy to reach out to you and we can get you on a strategy call this week. That's what we can do. We can move the needle this week. And then for those of you who are also listening, I want you to go ahead and register for our free masterclass. It is in the description of this video because I wanted to make it easier on myself. We don't have a whole bunch of links tonight. I want you to register for the masterclass, and I'm going to go ahead and put up on the screen both of our April masterclasses, and I'm going to remove myself so you can actually see it. So this week, April 6th, we have Dee Tomashoff, and she is doing our pricing for profit. And like I said, when y'all talk about a pricing expert, she is the one to tell you all the tea. And if you've never been to one of our master classes, and Instagram, I will get you these links. If you've never been to one of these master classes, we do it in a very intimate setting. It's in a private Zoom room. You must register to attend. And the instructor, the presenter, will go ahead and teach you, right? Because they're an expert. They're going to teach you for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then they're going to allow time for Q&A where we get down and dirty. You can share your screen. You can ask any question you might have. So don't think you're just going to hear another conversation like I just did today, right? I can only do so much in about 30 minutes. But in this call, you actually be able to share your screen and say, hey, this is my landing page for this product. This is what's included, and this is currently my pricing, and I need some help. And then she can give you some actual real-time feedback. I'll be on the call as well. And we're going to make sure everyone gets a chance to get their questions answered and get what they need in that masterclass. Later this month, on April 21st, we have Susie. I talked about her earlier. She'll be in the house, and she's going to be talking about business planning. She's going to get us our top 3 steps to starting a business. So if you are very, very new to the game, or you know someone who's new, share this with them too, guys. These are open to the public. I want you to definitely register for that class. So there's a rule to the master classes. There's a rule because it happens every time. In order to see, because I offer a replay to people who register. Now, I want you there live because I want you to get all the things you need. But I know that the times don't always work for everybody. So if for some reason you want this information, you must register. Because if you do not register, do not call me later. Don't hit me up. Don't DM me asking for the replay. I will not give it to you because I really want to be consistent with my yeses and my nos this year. And I want to make sure that if you really want this, guys, you're registering for a free class. You can do it right now. Before you go to sleep tonight and say, okay, let me register. I'll check my calendar later, but let me at least get in here and register so that you don't miss information. There's no excuses this year on why you are not moving forward in your business. So please do, if you're interested in either masterclass, we only do 1 or 2 every month. Definitely go ahead and register now. Like I said, Dee's link is actually in the description of this video. So you can actually click on it and go ahead and register for this free masterclass. But guys, that is all we have tonight. We got through it. I hope you guys like the new format. I definitely do. I love it. It feels better. And I hope you guys like it too. And if for anybody who is bummed about the fact that we don't have the hot seat coaching, we still do. If you DM me and you've never had one, you definitely can have one. But also I offer free consultation calls for anybody, anytime. So we may offer some in the future, but I really want to be able to offer you different things based on the topic. And so just be prepared for that. I felt like with all the announcements plus the winners, it was just kind of taking a long time before we could get to the meat of the thing. And so because of that, we've changed this up a little bit, but I think it was still good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. Oh, the podcast. So I didn't have a slide for it because it just launched today. Let me get you the link. The podcast is visual and audio. Sorry, I got to go grab it. I'm going to put it. Where are you guys on Facebook? Facebook. There we go. Check out episode 1 of the podcast. And there we go. I'll put it on LinkedIn here when we close out because I only have Facebook open. So I was like, let me throw that in there. But the podcast is really amazing. I'm so excited about it. If you heard me talk about my podcast before, last year we had a podcast, very motivational, inspirational. We got business owners telling us their amazing stories. But I felt like people just didn't have anything to implement. They just got those like warm and fuzzies. So this year, we're launching a new podcast. It's called the iRock Business with Confidence podcast. I like to keep it simple. Ooh, excuse me. And we're bringing on even better experts than before. Just people who, like before, it was like, people who had just had a really good story. This time we have experts in their field in various areas that all can support small business owners like you guys. And they're giving us tips, strategies, and the most important part is they're giving us things to implement now to grow our businesses. And when I tell you season 1 has already been recorded and it's fire, I'm already recording season 2. So definitely check it out. You can actually look. I think right now we're probably everywhere except Apple because Apple don't like me and I got to get y'all. I'll get there by the end of the week. By the end of the week, I promise. But everywhere else we should be there. And you can definitely watch us on our YouTube channel. If you didn't know, we have a YouTube channel because it is a visual podcast and I like to watch my podcast versus listen to them, but you can listen as well. But yeah, first episode is there. There's no guests. It's just me talking more about our story, talking about the podcast in general, and giving you guys some thoughts. But starting next week, every Monday, a new episode will drop. Starting next week, we have some cool different podcasts. And some of the people in the podcast will be in our master classes. So you'll get to kind of get a lot more information. Next week episode is with Lion Flood, and he has a podcast in the top 10% in the world right now. And he's freaking amazing. He's going to be talking about using podcasts to network. A lot of you are trying to get on podcasts, so that'll be a fun episode for you guys to check out. And I think Lion is coming maybe this summer to do a masterclass with us. So you'll see more of him. But anywho, with that being said, guys, remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. And I'm going to see you guys. I already told you, April, we're going to be live more, but I'm going to see you for a Monday Night Live next Monday. But I'll be seeing you in these live streets very soon. Have a great day.